Hello everyone, welcome back to another brain teaser. If you've been enjoying these, check out the entire playlist as well as a link to the repository that contains all of my brain teasers down in the description. Let's dive in and take a look at it. For today's brain teaser, we're simply going to be adding up the values of some flags. For those of you who may have seen the fizz buzz problem that is common in a lot of interview stuff, this is not that, but it does have the words fizz and buzz. Let's take a look at Visual Studio. Okay, so for this particular problem, we are looking to figure out what is the value of sum. We're going to add some numbers together. We can see that we're calling the getValue method. We're calling it 5 times, and the goal here is to figure out what assertion should we make. What is the expected value of sum to be at this point? We can see the getValue method only has return values of 2, 1, and 0. Since we invoke it 5 times, the correct answer is going to be between 0 and 10. The value being passed in here is this flag's enum. It's got members of unknown, none, fizz, buzz, and fizz buzz. And we pass in various combinations of those here. So obviously, anyone can pretty much download this code, set a breakpoint, and run and see it. But it's less about getting the right number and more about explaining the why it's the correct number. So before there's any spoilers, if you want to give yourself a chance to solve it, pause the video now. Give you a few moments. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's dive in and take a look. I'm going to flip over to the solution branch here. If you came up with the number 7, you were spot on the mark. So from the value of fizz, we get back 1. So I'm going to collapse a bunch of the description here, which probably doesn't surprise too many people. We passed in fizz. The first if statement returns false. Second one returns true, so we get back a 1. Not really shocking. We get back a 2 from passing in the values fizz, bitwise, or with buzz. So for those people unfamiliar with it in C#, the single pipe is a bitwise operator, meaning it will do a logical OR between the two values. And then finally we get down to fizz buzz, which ends up returning 0. And this one might shock people a little bit, but if we look at the binary values of each of these, fizz is 0, 1, buzz is 1, 0, just looking at the binary representation of these, and fizz buzz is 1, 0, 0. So in terms of the flags, it doesn't match either of these if statements, and we return 0. We then get to the interesting case of unknown, and in case anybody didn't catch it right away, this has a -1. And because this is a flag's enum, this is where the problems and the confusion are going to start. So we're going to dive into a little bit more of the description down here. So specifically, if we look at the binary representation of each of these, and I'm just going to be looking at the bottom 4 bits. For the purposes of what we're doing here, we only really care about the flags for fizz and buzz because that's all we're checking for down in this. But because this enum is a backing value of int, there are technically 32 bits worth of flags in there. Because of the way negative numbers are stored in binary, using the 2's complement representation, you'll end up with a string of 1s for unknown, which means unknown for has flag buzz and has flag fizz are both going to return true. But because buzz comes first, we get a return value of 2 from this call passing in unknown. And then finally, we have a call passing in buzz, which also returns 2. So not surprising, 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 is 7. So there you have it. If you'd enjoy this, feel free to subscribe. As always, happy coding. We'll see everyone next time.